So the pan that I'm using today is a Battenberg cake pan which has 3 insertions, and I'm going to show you how to put the insertions. This is the pan that you can see in my hand. So this is my cake tin, as I all showed you, and I normally grease my cake pans before I put it in the oven, because you know what happens, it tends to stick at times. So because of the oven heat also, and because of the cake batter, how various people make differently, so you don't want them to crack or stick to your pan. So what I will recommend is, please grease it. Either you can grease with butter, melt the butter and apply it on all sides and down, or you can put a baking paper or a parchment paper, as you all know, or you can use another liquid, another agent, releasing agent, which I recently bought from the shop, baking shop. This is bakery pan releasing agent. This is in liquid form, and it's little thick than the normal, the oil or the butter that we use for greasing. And what I have experienced with this releasing agent is that all your cakes, they come out with a shine. Not only shine, they do not stick to your pan. Like pans with designs, intricate designs, delicate designs, that you don't want them to spoil, and their design can crack and vice versa. So basically we are using this releasing agent. This comes in liquid form, and now I'm going to pour this. You don't want too much. Now I'm going to take my brush and just evenly coat my pan with this. Not only at the bottom, but all sides, so that you don't want it to stick, right? So this is what I'm going to do. Just evenly coat. You don't want one side to be too sticky, one side to not have at all. Evenly just coat this. Instead of this, what else you can do is oil, and just spray some all-purpose flour. And now I'm going to put my insertion. And please do not forget to grease your insertions also, because the batter is going to stick to the insertions as well. So just take as much as you have at the bottom and just grease the insertions. Do not take extra, because the extra will have that pungent smell, and you don't want that. You want the smell of your cake. So 3 insertions, and you will get 4 parts to these insertions. Okay. So these are the 2 batters that I'm going to pour in my mold. One, I am taking a chocolate cake batter, which I have already prepared. The second one is a vanilla coffee batter, which that also I have prepared both in advance, so that the YouTube video doesn't go too long, but you enjoy also. I will just prefer if you go with 2 different flavors and not go with the same flavor, because then you won't get that lovely texture when you are layering both the cakes, and you can cream afterwards. So these are the 2 cake batters that I'm adding. I have used chocolate and vanilla coffee, but you can go with any flavor that you wish to, like strawberry with a lemon cake, or you can go with blueberry with raspberry. So you can have like different flavors for different occasions and different situations and events. So let's go ahead and put these batters into the mold. So now I'm going to pour my chocolate batter into this one insertion of mine, and you can go messy like I am going messy. I know it tends to get messy at times, but then until unless you get messy, no point of making desserts, right? So don't fill it too much, just I think half or 3/4, because it needs that space to rise as well. Don't worry, we will tap later. This is my chocolate batter that goes into one insertion. Now second insertion goes with the vanilla coffee cake. Exciting. Exciting. Make sure you do not overlap your cakes. The vanilla coffee batter should not go into the chocolate and chocolate should not go, because then you won't get that different, you can't differentiate, sorry, between your two cakes. And then the color also will matter a lot. Then again chocolate for the third insertion. Can you see lovely two colors we are getting? I am so happy. So if this happens, then don't worry, you can lick it afterwards. And oh, I forgot to tell you, you have to preheat your oven for 10 minutes at 180 degrees, and then after preheating, we will keep this cake at 180 degrees and for about 20-25 minutes, and when a skewer inserted comes out clean, the cake is done. And then we will demold it and we will let it cool. Before it demolds, we have to cool it. Otherwise, sometimes it gets sticky. So now I have finished pouring all my batter into these insertions. Now what we need to do is just tap once to make sure that all your batter is evenly distributed between your insertions. Now as you can see, all my batter is evened. Now I will take a tray, baking tray, put this cake pan into the oven, okay, at 180 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes or till you insert insertion and it comes out clean. And then I will tell you another trick that we will do later on. Exciting. So now that I have demolded my cake from the mold, I am going to cut them into small squares so that we can make the checkered theme on my other cake board. And on top we are going to use ganache and white chocolate to decorate it and make it look like a Christmas theme. So you can decorate it however you want to. You can put buttercream, you can have whipping cream, you can go with ganache, you can go with chocolate topping, or if you want you can just simply frost it and cut it into pieces. Before cutting you can just frost it and you can cut into pieces and put sprinklers or anything, and then you can serve them to your guests, your loved ones, everyone. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to cut them into squares. So have equal squares, that will be nice. So now I'm going to take individual squares and just alternatively I'm going to put so that I make a checkered design. So I have two pipings with me. One is the ganache, one is the white chocolate, and I have melted the white chocolate. And first I'm going to put the ganache on my vanilla coffee cake. So let's go. So as I was telling you that I'm doing two frosting today. One is the ganache, which I have already done. Second is chocolate ganache. I told you can use melted chocolate, but what I think is it gets a little thicker and it sets really fast. So what I will do is I am going to take this ganache. You can make this with white chocolate and amul cream. It's that simple, any ratio. And now we're going to pipe this. So you remember I was telling you about the tip that I'm going to share with you. Though I did not do it with my Battenberg cake, but What I would like to do if I would have made this otherwise, I would have piped a ganache or melted chocolate in between my cakes. So when you cut pieces, just with your piping bag, just make a hole inside in the middle of one cake, one square, and just fill it with a ganache of your choice, or you can do a jam also for that matter, jam or fruit puree. You can go with fruit puree and melted chocolate, or even if you want you can add a little crunch to it, so you can go with hazelnut, macadamia nuts. You can go with any other dry fruits you want, not raisins, because I wouldn't suggest that, because when you're biting you need that extra crunch and gooiness. With the raisins and all, you won't be able to have that crunch that kids also love and elders also love, everyone love. So just go for it and make your own version of Battenberg. This is not the actual recipe of the Battenberg. If you go to Google and search for Battenberg recipes, you will have a butter cake recipe. But here I am trying to show a different kind of recipe, not even recipe, but a different kind of a style with the Battenberg mold. I'm just showing here the mold. I'm not trying to show you basically the cake. Okay, so go ahead and make your own versions, and please do tag me in the comment section, and do follow Signature Bites page on YouTube. Subscribe, follow, share, and yes, go crazy.